Well, coming up, we're going to get Bill's reaction to a one-star review that we found online. It's a new series we're launching, and we start now. Welcome to the Smart Mortgage Show. Ben George with Bill Linton at Cross Country Mortgage. So, Bill, we're starting a new series here on the channel that I want to provide to people to kind of give them a better idea what the experience looks like. So what we're going to do here, we'll call this a one-star review series. And we're finding one-star reviews that are out there online, not with Cross Country, but just in general, just to find some common pain points in the process for people to, maybe provide a little more clarity on what to expect, but also understand what the difference is between a one-star experience and a five-star experience.
Yeah, and Ben, a lot of times people don't do mortgages or get mortgages enough. So sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. And we want to point out some things that are all too common and what would take that experience from 1 star or 5 stars to 1 star. Now, luckily, we've been super grateful that we've had a lot of customers give us 5-star reviews. But to be honest, Ben, we've planned it that way. We provide a super transparent process. We guarantee our terms. Whatever we show you, you're going to get. So that is what creates 5 stars, is something that somebody can count on, transparency, something that's consistent. If you tell somebody that they're going to get something and it's different at the settlement table, that's a 1-star experience.
And I think, too, along the way during the series, too, Bill, maybe we'll find that some of these are fair criticisms, but also maybe we find that, hey, maybe these people didn't know what to expect. This is part of the mortgage process. Maybe they weren't prepared for that, and that's why they reacted the way they did, but hopefully provide some clarity and some transparency on what you can expect as a home buyer going through this mortgage lending process. So our first 1-star review we want to get your response to and your thoughts on, Bill, is this one. It's kind of a bait and switch review. So they advertised a great rate. I called, and suddenly the rate was 0.5% higher with more points. Classic bait and switch. By the time I figured it out, I had already wasted 3 weeks. All right, Bill. So talk to me about this, what this experience might have looked like for this person, and what should you expect going into it with rates?
So this one, I hear a lot. We talk to a lot of clients who either had this experience or know someone who had this experience. My mother had this experience before I got into lending. She was told one thing, and when she got to the settlement table, it was much more expensive. So what you want to make sure of is, number one, that you're working with a reputable lender. If you don't know, okay, this lender A, lender B, or lender C is reputable, you definitely want to look for someone that you know who's in the industry and get a really good referral. Okay. Going to our point, Ben, check reviews, right? If you go and you check our reviews, you're going to see lots of 5-star reviews. You're not going to see anybody talking about a bait and switch, because it never happens. One of the other things that we notice with these bait and switches is the lack of the lender providing a loan estimate. Okay, so you want to make sure that you get everything in writing up front that details the interest rate and all the costs, what the lender's charging you directly in underwriting fees, processing fees, or discount points. You also want to make sure that lender knows your area enough to know how much the transfer tax is going to cost, or how much they're going to need to take in escrows to build an escrow account. Because those items, even though it's not a lender charge, those charges are going to be included. And if they're incorrect, that could mean the difference of $5,000 when it comes to settlement. So imagine getting to the settlement table and you owe $5,000 more than you thought. That's a major issue. And, Ben, to your point, maybe that was lack of knowledge or an honest mistake from the loan officer. They just didn't know the area well enough to build the estimate correctly, but still feels like a bait and switch. It's still $5,000 you didn't plan on spending.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. They said by the time they figured it out over the course of 3 weeks, they had wasted that amount of time. Even if you are searching for rates online, Bill, and you see a Cross Country or whoever is advertising this rate right now, you're going to be pretty clear and understand what that rate is pretty quickly, right? It's not something that's going to be drawn out over a few weeks where all of a sudden, hey, they just now painted the picture clearly for me. We've already been talking for a few weeks.
That's exactly right. So we're going to work as quickly as we can to put a loan estimate into your hands that details shows you where every dollar goes. And then we're going to go over that estimate with you in a pre-approval review consultation so that we can point out where every dollar goes, why it's there, how you qualified, make sure that we're on the same page from the very beginning. Also, we're going to let you know that if you haven't found a house yet or you're not ready to lock in on a refinance, that rate is floating. It's not locked in until we actually lock it in, at which step we'll be very clear and transparent that, hey, this is the time when we're going to lock in your interest rate, and also talk about what that means.
Yeah, so that's the difference there between a 1-star experience and a 5-star experience. You're going to be pretty clear up front on what to expect. But maybe just to kind of provide a little bit of clarity on these rates that get advertised online, Bill, because they are real rates, but what should you just know about what you're seeing online in terms of, who's getting these rates and how close is it to what maybe you'll get when you call someone?
It's a great question. So the rates online assume perfection. Every single aspect, every pricing adjustment is perfect. So it's almost a teaser rate, and almost nobody fits into that exact category. Once we look at all the specific details on your specific financing, scenario, we're going to see that you probably don't qualify for the teaser rate. Now, what's also important is some lenders will provide a loan estimate that's still, they're giving it to you in writing, but it's the teaser rate. And over time, during the process, they may change that estimate. I won't name the lender, but I have a friend who was working at a specific lending institution, and one day his manager went in and raised all the rates on all his loans and just said, there's been a change. We're making an adjustment. We're going to disclose the change to the client within the compliant time frame. So it's legal to do it, but it's also very unethical, right? It's not a good business practice. We never do that. If something changed on our estimate, it's because your credit score dropped or you changed jobs, and now that job there'd be a very large, noticeable, conspicuous variable that was unknown to us that is now brought into the situation. And even then, we're going to work with you to do the best we can to keep things as close as possible. Some other companies will make changes for no apparent, there's been zero change at all, except for they're adjusting the rate up or increasing the fees on the loan. Or here's another thing that we hear a lot is, now we need to extend the rate because they're not going to close on time, but the extension fees are really expensive, maybe egregiously expensive compared to what they could be. So any even minor change, they're going to take advantage of making up a massive increase in fees and rates to try and find profit in the loan.
All right. Yeah. Some good info there. They explain the process a little bit more. So again, this is just one review that's out there that we found online, a pain point that maybe some other people deal with. Maybe you've experienced something similar, but really want to help you understand what to expect in that process. And if you want to work with Cross Country Mortgage, want to learn more about their process, how they'll help you identify the right lending options for yourself. Maybe you just want to get a better sense of what rates are available to you now. You can always text LEND at 21,000, Bill. And just for anyone that comes in and meets you for the first time, what are some of the first kind of things you're talking about and working through?
Well, we're going to go through a process of discovery, and we're going to learn a lot about you, and we're going to ask enough questions so that there's a almost 100%, a 99.99999% chance that whatever we tell you we can do, we're going to do. Now, there are some extenuating circumstances beyond our control. So it is impossible to guarantee all loans, but we literally, I can't tell you the last time that anything at all changed. When you choose a lender, you're not just choosing the quoted interest rate. What you're choosing is the successful execution of the loan at the terms that were quoted in the time frame that was quoted. And that's very different than just chasing quotes online or, chasing verbal quotes or even loan estimates. What you're choosing is you want a high quality product that gives you the highest probability that you're going to get exactly what you were told you were going to get from day one. So that's what we want our customers to understand, is that's what you're going to get from us.
Again, you can text word LEND to 21,000. All the contact information is down in the show description. Check it out there. But yeah, wanted to kind of get your thoughts, Bill, on this 1-star review. We're going to do this a little bit more too. So if you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a comment. Let us know what you think. But we're going to try to identify some of these pain points and help you better understand what you should expect from a good lender moving forward. Thank you for watching the Smart Mortgage Show. Once again, with Bill Litton at Cross Country Mortgage. We'll be back again soon. Please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate your support. We'll talk to you then. This program is for informational purposes only. Please consult a qualified professional before taking any action. Bill Litton is a loan advisor and regional president with Cross Country Mortgage, NMLS number 147060.